That was some nice calming music.
It was. I feel so like tranquil right now.
Totally. Let me take this sticker off.
Just
Hi,
just
Nealay.
replay that all over again.
Right. Well,
Bring that little disco ball.
right. Totally. I'm like, I thought it was a little peppier, and then I hit the go button. I'm all, oh, all right.
Oh,
It's afternoon music.
yeah, yeah.
Hi, Nealay.
Oh, hi, Kate. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I love that I get to chat with you today. We never
Same.
really got to like have our one-on-one in a
I
ever,
I
at least
know.
if
We
it's off
always get
the show floor.
I know we get to see each other at shows, and we get to but it is the Kate and Nealay show, which I love the sound of.
I do too. We could make some real trouble.
Could we indeed? Well, this is our run up to the Great Bead Extravaganza this weekend. Um, are you ready?
I think so. I am so sad, and this happens every time to me, is that I run out of kits. I run out of kits, and then I can't make any promises to anybody, and I get upset over that. And
I
that I sold out earlier, so thank you guys who grabbed the kit and everything. And I am so sorry that leading to the event and then on my actual show time on this Saturday, I will have parts and pieces that you can purchase, but I will not have that kit. But yeah, otherwise, I think I'm right. I've got the project behind me there,
Ooh, I
and
can't wait to see it.
yeah, it's a stellar little like bright piece, and I'm not even sure what possessed me to go into the brights because I'm usually known for my earth tones, but we all like to dabble.
We do, and that is so funny, Neelay. I'm going to have to grab something. I also went into bright, so maybe you and I are just channeling the same thing. I
Yeah,
love
I'm
it.
just like I'm feeling the summer vibes.
Yeah, summer vibe. Well, the cool thing about your projects, and I think kind of, like stringing projects and stuff in general, you share so much technique that people can just dive, stash dive and put together, get some of your components and put them all together.
I
That's
think that's
cool.
the idea, and
Yeah.
I gotta brag on the Silkies group because you guys know who you are out there and that are tuning in and have the amazing inspiration that you guys come up with, and then the folks that are featured on the SilverSilk Sundays. And I don't you it's like this community that I've sort of helped to create and inspire. They inspire me. Hopefully, I inspire them and give them some tips and ideas on how to use SilverSilk as I'm learning, because the best way to learn is just to screw up and
Yeah.
do things. And so,
Yeah.
and plenty of that, but
Yeah.
they are amazing with what they can do with SilverSilk, and it never ceases to amaze me.
Well, so for this, and a big shout out to our bead shop, bead table babes as well. Um, babes and babettes, babe dudes, babe hers, babe theys, whatever.
All
Um,
the all the
all
babes.
the babes.
Bring
Um,
out all the babes.
I just and of course all of you who are watching on the Great Bead Extravaganza, because we do have so much inspiration, and that's what I love about the TGBE. Janice is asking real quick, what time do you go on Sundays, Nealay?
That's a great question, Janice. So every Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Time. Let me see if I could do this. So that would be 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yes, I think
Okay,
that's right.
nice.
Yeah,
I
I
need
think
a,
that's
I need, I get an award. I get a gold star sticker for time timing.
we love it. And sometimes you have Danielle Wicks on with you most Sundays.
Yeah, it's actually we've partnered together for the SilverSilk Sundays, and then
That's so
sometimes
awesome.
one of us is not available, so we kind of figure out how to fill in. And then usually we've got a guest with us, which is usually a diehard Silky, Jennifer Miller. We've got Stacy Hecht, Jody Krantz. It was Cassandra Spicer. There's just so many
That's
reoccurring
so
guests, and
awesome.
it's just It's like a little TV show. I'm missing puppets is basic, or even Muppets, and that would really complete my show.
That would be. It would be. You know, I wanted no. Well, first I'll tell you. I'll tell you a Muppet story in a second.
Yes.
Number one, what would we do without Danielle Wicks?
I don't know. I would not have creativity in my life.
No, I'm serious. You know, she's like the little bead fairy that hops from like bead company to bead company, just spreading her
Joy.
creative joy. We are so lucky to have her in this industry. We have a project coming up with her soon, but that's so I've seen you guys once in a while on the Sundays, and it's great that she really she does such great stuff with the SilverSilk for sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
she adds a different perspective and technique to what SilverSilk can do. And I touch on everything, but I would say I'm not a master of everything. And
Mhm.
so it's good to find friends that have a very special ability, a special technique that they bring to the SilverSilk table, right?
Yeah.
And something that we can all learn from. But
Yeah.
Danielle, because she's got such grace and patience and kindness, just wants to explore and give people parts of her creativity. I am so humbled and thankful that she enjoys SilverSilk, the brand, and then me tolerating me enough to like come back to the show and help teach and guide us with her abilities and techniques.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree. Let me I'll answer one quick question, then I'll tell you a Muppet story.
Yeah, I need this.
Cynthia, thank you so much for asking. My project, what we're going to do and what I usually do is I launch all my stuff that Friday, the preview day. So stay tuned to the Bead Shop newsletter. I'll give you a little bit of a preview on what I'm doing. I'm holding it right here. It's going to be fun, also with some brights. But Nealay, I also am a big like puppet fan. So when I was in college
At university.
at university, um, we did. So there was a in San Jose, there's this place called Happy Hollow Park and Zoo, which was run by the husband of our theater instructor, right?
Mhm.
They were both amazing. We learned so much from them. Happy Hollow Park and Zoo had a marionette program or a
Oh.
marionette theater and a puppet theater. So that was the big. So you got hired by the city of San Jose. You either worked the pirate ship snack bar or you got to do marionettes. So, I mean, the pirate ship snack bar was fun because there was a lot of nachos,
How do
but
you pick? I mean, well, I don't know. They both sound fun to me.
it was fun times. It was fun times in the late 80s. So so my friends, of course, you know, we were all friends. They ran the marionette and the puppet theater, and they would constantly refurbish and all that kind of stuff. So once in a while, I would get pulled from hawking nachos and Slurpees at the pirate ship snack bar in the summer. From there to the puppet theater,
Oh
and
my.
it was so fun. Oh, Sarah remembers. You grew up going to, yes, the marionette show. Well, we had to, it was so much fun. We would get to refurbish. I did some marionette costuming because costuming was my gig. So
Amazing.
um yeah, from there I went into other fun facets of working for the city in kind of theatrical capacities. But that was super fun. So I thought at one time that puppeteering would be my life's work, but somehow it went into beads instead.
You know what though? I this could be a sign, Kate. I'm just saying that
Maybe.
somehow, and I talked to my friend who has this photo studio and everything of like Josh is his name, and I was like, Josh, I would really love to have strong um clean cut videos of beading techniques. It's just a library, like basic techniques and stuff. And then my brain went on pure imaginative. I was like, you know what? I would feel even better if I had a co-host that was a bead lady puppet. Or like, just like
Right.
something weird that you wouldn't really expect there to be in like a serious beading tutorial video, but it'd be super Nealay or like just silly.
Well, we've had this character at Bead Shop for forever that Janice calls Betty Beader. And Betty Beader has appeared and that's just a little sketch that Janice does. Betty Beader has appeared in some way, shape, or form since like 1982, since Bead Shop was open. And she kind of has wild hair. She looks maybe a little bit like Janice. She kind of has wild hair, and she's very much a beading doyen, right? She really knows. So I don't know. Maybe we should,
I think there's something to this.
there might be some kind of like Betty Beader, and and I love the Muppets.
do too.
My favorite Muppet, I don't know, it's hard to choose, but I'm a big Fozzie Bear
Aww.
kind of fan, though I love them all. Oh, and Janice is saying old times to Betty Bead. She was practically a bead shop employee back in the day, but it would be really funny to do a Betty Beader
Yes, a
Muppet.
persona.
Yeah.
Personally, my favorite was Animal. If we're talking
Yes.
about the Muppets.
Yes.
I also loved Gonzo. He was weird.
Yeah.
So I think I like identify with the weirdness. But
Yes.
Jen
I
has
was also a big Grover fan because Grover's so
oh,
tender.
right. Yeah. Aw.
So tender.
Yeah.
His heart is
Mhm.
so tender. I love it. Yeah, everybody has a favorite. Yeah. Oh, and Tammy's asking, but what did I learn from puppeteer work that I can apply what I do today? I learned in my theater career,
Good question.
um, e- every day I use what I learned from all of my instructors over the years. I had many, many great instructors in my theater life. And they really taught you, number one, to think on your feet, right? We had to learn how to pivot immediately. Like we had to, um, if like the director was like, well, we like this costume, but we want this or we want that, you had to pivot and you had to say, yes, no problem. Or you had to figure out if there was a tool that you needed, even in like the costume shop or the scene shop. I did a lot of set building for for the city of San Jose. We had a scene shop there. And yeah, Janice is saying you learned how to patch anything at the last minute. Yes, with safety pins. You could. That's right, JP. I can build a whole costume with safety pins. It's true. Oh, and Janice is asking who the famous person was that I did tailoring for. It was none other than the great calypso singer himself. Anyone?
I
Anyone? My
have
mom
no
knows.
idea. Also,
Um,
I'm horrible. My coworkers were discussing this today. I am so bad at pop culture references. It's not even fun.
oh, well, I bet someone will guess. I bet someone will guess. Let me see. Yes, Harry
Ah,
Belafonte.
there
That
we
is
go.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
the great, great Harry Belafonte.
You guys get a
Yes,
gold star too.
he was
That's
amazing.
incredible.
He was amazing. Yeah, theater, theater was really good. Was really good to me. I learned a lot. But
Well, some of that stuff you still apply to today's world that you're living in. Like, for example, thinking on your feet is very much in line with how we broadcast.
yeah,
And we have to learn if technological things go haywire, we got to pivot
yeah, which
or
they do all the
all the
time,
time.
all the
Yeah.
time. So, Nealay, I had a question that I was going to ask. Oh, this was my question. So, I want to know. I mean, I've known you a long time,
Mhm.
um, since Beat and Button days, and we knew each other kind of before. But I remember that really great Beat and Button where Katie Hacker threw like that big Beat and Button party, and we
Yeah.
were all there, like whooping it up. I think that was the day that I'm like, That that's my friend right there. Um, what brought you to the jewelry world? How long have you been making jewelry?
Oh, that's a good question.
I've always wanted to know because you're such a natural. You have such a good design eye.
Thank you. Well, that took honing, and it took a long time to craft that sixth sense. And so unprofessionally and experimentally, I've been creating jewelry since I was probably like old enough to pick up a bead.
Oh,
And these
wow.
plastic pony beads, I know
Yes.
everybody knows what I'm talking about with those. Um, and now what's ironic is I'm playing it with pony beads with my niece and hoping that she will come to the dark side of beading. She has some beads, in fact, that I gave her of leftover things from pop-up shops and other businesses and stuff. So she's got a pretty decent stash to make stuff.
I bet she
And
does.
then, yeah, my sister-in-law sending me photos of things that she makes. So I was like, ah,
Oh,
we will have her addicted yet.
oh, that's so awesome.
But anyway, I've been doing professional beadery since, gosh, when was my first publication out? I want to say 2000. I think 2002. I'd really have to go back and look. Was when my first bead and button pattern was published,
Nice.
and I still have that design, but I can't. I think that was the date.
Hmm.
Um, and it was a project that I made out of seed beads. So I started out as a seed bead weaver, and then wrote a couple books. One involved a heavy use of soft flex wire.
Yeah, I remember.
When I met Sarah for the first time, it was at a show. I
Mhm.
didn't know who she was, but I had talked to her via email. And it was immediate, like, warm reception that, it's nice to be in an industry where everyone likes to hug. And I
Yeah.
think I'm a hugger as well. And so, um, everyone was so welcoming from Softflex, and I was drinking it all in because I didn't know what to think. And I was very young at that time too. So it was great. And then it sort of grew from there, like with different connections. And yeah, I miss the Beat and Button magazine too.
Yeah.
I guess there's other ones now, but I'm not very privy to them, to be honest. It's
Yeah, there's the one, the Belle Armoire, I think is still out there, and still getting, some getting published. But
yeah,
all of like art jewelry, bead style, you remember bead style? We were in bead style
Bead Style, Bead
quite a
Unique.
bit. Yeah, bead unique.
Loved Bead Unique. They were. I still talk to Joanna because um, who was the co-editor there, I believe,
Right, right,
and
right,
for Pam, and she works for Parawire now, and has for
right,
a long time. And so, yeah, all my
right.
SilverSilk is Parawire, and so
Yeah.
I'll text her and be like, "Can I have this and this and this?"
Oh, that's great. Oh, that you know what? I didn't know that all your silver silk is parawire. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Total Silver Silk is Parawire. Their
That's,
color library is vast,
yeah,
and their wire is so soft, and so
yeah,
the machine just loves to knit with it.
yeah. That's awesome. And it's great that it's all produced right here.
Mhm.
Um,
The plating and
that's,
everything is
yeah,
done here in the US, and their
yeah,
plating is superior
yeah,
to any other wire company.
yeah. Agreed, agreed. Um, yeah, everybody's reminiscing
Yeah, and the bead and
about
buttons.
the bead and
I
button
never
shows.
really You were there for the height of it all, and so when do you remember going to your first bead and button show? And
Yeah.
go ahead, I wanna know
Oh,
this.
oh, well, I didn't want to interrupt your thought, but
No, well, I have, like, 74 thoughts, but let me temper my ADHD and just start with a question.
same. I'm all, and then, um, well, I remember I started working for Janice in 92 at the bead shop. And it's a long other story that I won't bore you with, but I left Apple Computer working in the Silicon Valley, for a brief stint. Um, and I was like, you know what? This isn't for me. I need to go back to the artistic world. I was going to go teach, whatever I was going to do. And the bead shop was hiring, so I got a job. I got a job there at our Palo Alto store. So I guess I had a real proclivity for teaching. Teaching was my thing. The woman who did all of the classes was going to leave. And so I was kind of groomed into like the next class instructor, the next class director, whatever. Um, and so Janice sent me on to what was the bead and button precursor. It was called Embellishments, and it was put on. It wasn't owned by Kallenbach, by Bead and Button then. Bead and Button bought it. I can't remember. It was the same people at the time, I think, that did the Houston, the big quilt market, the big quilt show. And so they put on this show called Embellishments, and it was in Houston. And we saw it in one of, I don't know how we saw it. Maybe we saw it in Ornament magazine, because Bead and Button wasn't even a thing then. And Janice sent me, and I was like, holy crap. I was younger then. And I'm like, I'm going on a business trip. It was amazing. So I went to Embellishments, and I took a few classes. I took a polymer clay class on how to make imitative polymer clay from Tori Hughes. Janice is saying, I think we saw it in Ornament. I think you're right, JP. I must have taken some beading classes. I must have that info somewhere in my archives, but I remember the polymer clay. I'm sure that there were some other beading classes. And I was like, this is a whole thing that, people were teaching. It was, I'm still kind of flabbergasted at how crazy it was, and there were vendors out there, and I was like, this is the best. So I went back to the bead shop from Embellishments, and I'm like, okay, we've got to start teaching, and we've got to start, because we taught like a stringing class, Janice taught a pearl knotting class, and we taught an earrings class. And that was really it. We didn't teach much more. And so we started to, I love this, Sarah. Thank you for mentioning this. So we started to add classes, and I added wire, we added all kinds of stuff. And so embellishment happened maybe 5 years. Maybe it went back from Houston to Austin to Houston. Then I think it was in Portland. And then I think its final year was in Sacramento, I think. Then it was bought by Bead and Button magazine.
Oh, gotcha.
And, Janice is very kind. We moved like our 3 or 4 small classes. We had huge class rosters and guest teachers, and we put out a class schedule 4 times a year. It was really great. And we do have them. I do have them in the archives. I should put them up sometime, because they were pretty incredible. We had a lot of fun. But yeah, and so then when it morphed into Bead and Button magazine, or the Bead and Button show, I remember the group from Bead and Button came to the embellishment show in Sacramento. I saw like Alice Korak, and I saw some other Bead and Button people that the names are escaping me. And they said, oh, this is going to turn into Bead and Button. Embellishments is turning into Bead and Button. Mm. And it's going to be held in Milwaukee when, near the offices. So Bead and Button, it ended just shy of its 20 years. It ended right before the pandemic. So it must have been, it debuted in the year 2000, I'm guessing, because 2020 would have been its 20th anniversary. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately it folded in 2019, I think was the last one. But I attended almost every year from embellishment on through. And I taught at a lot of them. Some of them I just was a participant. Some of them I had my time with Beaducation, and we did the big booths there and stuff. That was really fun, and demos. I demoed for places like Eurotool. It was really fun. Janice and I taught at Bead and Button together. So it was a real experience like no other. for sure. Oh, Yvette's saying she remembers us both from Beads, Baubles, and Jewels.
Oh,
That was a fun show, wasn't it?
yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
That
I
was a fun show.
forgotten about that until just now because we were there for that last one. The When was that? That was like 6 or 7 years ago. I want to
Yeah,
say.
I mean, time flies for sure, but it
Mhm.
probably because if it's
Wild.
2025, it was probably at least 6 years ago, right?
Mhm.
I think. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
So
But,
crazy.
I think having been in this business since 92, I think that, I mean, if certainly the business is very different now than it was all of those years ago. But I think that it's a constant evolution. So, we look back with like rose colored glasses about, the shows, and we miss the magazines, and, there's a lot of things we miss. But also, I think right now, where we are in the bead world and the bead business, though it's, the waters can be a little choppy, it can be a little rough or whatever. But we also didn't have this way of connecting, right? We didn't have this immediate way of like teaching and going into someone's studio via the internet,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I miss those big events, but I also really cherish like these immediate connections and these really like these close friendships that we've made not only with our customers but with each other. So though times have changed, they're we just have to go with the flow. It's not worse or it's not better. It's just different, you know?
No, and that's yeah, I completely agree. And I, for one, am just kind of glad that it has switched into, to me, the virtual environment feels more reachable for
Hmm.
everybody. And you guys are literally in my home right now, which is bizarre to think about. But if we didn't have this technology, because it didn't exist back then, there is no way that I could make this many friends or meet this many people or have our one-on-one time together, Kate, in
Right.
two different parts of the US. Um, and so one of my questions to you actually was, we've had a great history and past, but what are you looking forward to moving forward?
That's a great question. I think moving forward, and you and I were talking a little bit about it before we went on the air. I feel like I always want to keep learning and always want to keep challenging. So, like with this past, I just got back a little over a week ago from my big yearly teaching experience in France, where the first year I taught beading, right? It was great. It was so much fun, 2024. 2025, I got this crazy idea that I was going to sew in France and teach people how to sew. And I've been sewing since I was little, right? I love to sew, but I haven't done, and I worked in the costume shop and stuff, right? And I guess I taught people there as well, but like really structured sewing classes.
Well, in a different country, no less.
Yeah, right, right, with a different plug. It's like, oh,
It's
this
like,
sewing
well, you could
machine,
do this in Texas, or you could do this in France.
I can do it in France. Why not? Let's go to the south of France. Let's try and put everything in a suitcase
Oh
and
gosh, how do you pack
pray.
for that?
Well, overweight charge was a little,
Oh
um,
no.
but it wasn't too bad. I'm a pretty good packer. Because I would have to send my whole metalsmithing studio across the country, right?
Right.
When I would teach metalsmithing, so you know, uh, some fabric and some scissors was not quite as daunting, but yeah. So I think challenging myself and challenging the people that are watching us. I think because like you were saying, that's where the growth happens when you learn new things or try out new experiences, or like they say, learn, see one, do one, teach one, right? All you have to do is stay one step ahead of your students, right? That's really all, right?
Yeah.
You just have to know what this step is if they know what this step is.
Yeah.
So So I'm looking forward to continuing to challenge myself and to challenge all of you out there. Um, More sewing content is certainly coming to beadshop.com, because so many of my students have said, "Oh, I have a sewing machine," and I can't stand to hear it. I have a sewing machine that's just sitting there. Oh my God, let's get
I
it
know.
out.
I hate to be that one. I have a sewing machine that's just sitting there.
We'll get you going, because it's, there's no, the word out now is gatekeeping, right? Don't gatekeep. And I feel like sometimes in whatever craft world there is, but especially when there's a big machine involved, right? It feels like there's this veil of mystery that if you haven't worked with a sewing machine, or if you haven't worked with, you know, a sewing machine in a while, or maybe other fancy tools. Like if you're a metal worker, or want to be a metal worker, it's the torch that's the big, oh, it's scary, or if you're becoming a wire worker and you have all of these different pliers and tools and you're like, which one should I use for which? If you just learn just even the very basics, it's like burst through that veil. And if you do just one, if you learn how to sew one straight seam, then that's all you need to know. The
That's a
rest is
great,
just,
yeah, it's like a good point of orientation. And I would say even for me, because I do tailoring of my own with like some pants and stuff that I have. It's very, very basic work. And all I'm doing is just seam ripping and then sewing basically over it to like taper or make something narrow and then folding it back up and then, finishing it out. But there is something so enjoyable because we experience this in the bead world about picking up tangible items because they are so colorful, full of texture, and they need to be made into something. And I feel like fabric is that. It's very visceral. That
yeah.
I'm gonna take this beautiful, like I want to take 7 different patterns and somehow combine it into a magical, I don't know, Kate Richbourg bag or something. And
Or the bag or a something, right? Or
yeah,
like a cape or like a quilt,
yes,
or,
yes.
I think that
I have
one
made
of,
ugly caftans before too, so
yeah,
I could go
no,
back to that.
there are no ugly caftans. I don't care.
Oh, no, mine were oversized.
N-
They just weren't made right, but if I
Well,
had some basic skills.
all you need is a couple of darts and a kicky belt. That's all you need. That's that's all you need.
I was giving them to my friends as a wedding gift, and I think I oversized them, so it almost was like an insult.
Well, so this is the magic thing when you're doing a caftan or something like that. On the back or on the front, sew a casing, like, if you're right here, like an underbust
Yeah,
casing, or on the back, sew a casing and put a piece of elastic through, and it'll just pull everything in and make everything drape
and
really
that's
nicely on the
yeah,
back.
and they could
Ask
tuck
me,
in.
ask,
Yeah.
ask me how I know that one. And Stem Hilly, I promise you I will never abandon the beaters,
No,
right?
we're not about that. We will dabble in all the dark arts of crafting.
Right. As
Really,
I like to say, I am an omnicrafter
yeah.
and I like to dabble in all of them. Yes, the Great British Sewing Bee, the second season just started. I'm saving it up.
I don't
Um,
know about that. It's on Roku. I have Roku. Maybe I need to
yeah,
that.
I think it's their second. I think it's their second season. It's kind of like the Great British Bake Off,
I was just
but
gonna
for
say, I
sewing.
love any Great British show because it's so
It's so
relaxing
good.
and none of it is cutthroat, which
Yeah,
I'm so bored with that style of competition. I
same,
just want everyone to have a good time and like feel the good
same.
vibes. And somehow that those shows, because there was a pottery one too that I loved.
Yes, the pottery one. And did you ever watch the silversmith, the jewelry making one?
There was a jewelry making one. I watched the first season of that. It was
Yeah,
great.
I don't think they've ever done a second season from it, but I loved it. I'm like, oh, I want to do. It
I'll
was it
send them
was
an email.
cool.
I'll be like, when is this coming back?
Yeah, when's this coming back? Um, yeah, no, it was great. Um, we Yeah, so the sewing things. I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff. Someone else that I look to that really does a lot of kind of mixed media and a lot of different things is Cynthia Thornton over at Green Girl.
Yes,
And
yeah.
especially her daughter Azalea. Azalea is really from like knitting to pattern making to bag making to all kinds of stuff.
They touch
Those,
on the puppets with their paper
yes,
crafted dolls.
yeah.
So
And they're
there's so much
also
great.
working on some kind of show puppet kind of behind the scenes. I don't know. Cynthia, sometimes she posts about it on the Green Girl, where she's made some big puppet things. It's some kind of TV thing. I don't know. I'm
I
not
need to,
super
yeah, I
sure.
need some more research on that because
Yeah,
I'm
because
curious.
she made a big frog puppet and it was amazing.
Oh wow.
Um, so yeah, yeah, it was great. Well, what about you, Neelay? What's your next
My
what's
next
your
move.
next trick? Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
have
have
something
been
coming up. You've got a show coming up.
for
Are you
wait.
gonna your jewelry that
Oh
are
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Sorry, I was
yeah.
like, I have so many things coming up.
Is
um,
that something that you want to continue with, do you think?
yeah, yeah. To give some context to the folks out there, I had experimented in doing, and this is on my Instagram. So if you're not part of the Silver Silk and More Instagram, go to Instagram and search for Silver Silk and More, and it's got like a random bunch of stuff in there. And then the body pieces that I've been working on. I've been using Instagram as sort of my bar talk. So like
Mhm.
I kind of picture Instagram as like a long bar, velvet everywhere, mood lighting. And then like I'm just talking to my buddies about like just stuff, just random stuff. And part of it is this thing that I've been doing, which is the larger pieces of jewelry. And my friend planted a seed in me about a year and a half ago to do, because my friend Josh, who's the photographer, because he was like, I want to do big pieces that are designed because smaller bracelets and stuff just doesn't seem to photograph with presence. And I want to do it on models and blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, Josh. And then I tabled that idea for about a year and a half. And then I brought it back out again because I think what he had thought was going to be more unique to different body types. And I was wanting to do something a bit more universal in the sense that it has a very standardized formula to where it could fit all kinds of, body shapes, body styles, be more just accessible for people to wear. And I think I finally had found that template. And I experimented in making a few different designs, which turned into a show of pieces. And I did this very locally, very under the radar with Silver Silk and everything. And it all used Silver Silk. So a few of my pieces sold. And then the rest of it I dismantled and repurposed. And I received an invite from a local fundraising gala to submit some of my work, which has never happened before because I've never really put myself out there for my own designs. I've always thought I need to make something, I need to make it into a tutorial, and how do I teach
Right.
this? And
Right.
this was using a whole different part of my brain of like,
Yeah.
if I could take all of that away, what would my work look like? And so I
It's
took the
kind of
Kate.
scary sometimes to think about that too.
It
You know,
is.
or not scary, but it puts you kind of in a different
You're in a
discomfort
more
zone.
vulnerable
Yeah, at least for me, for
wheelhouse.
sure.
Yeah, because it's just like, what does my work look like outside
Yeah.
of my voice of being a educator at Silver Silk?
Yeah.
And I think I'm still figuring that out because my work is still evolving. And I submitted 5 pieces that I reworked and reconstructed because whenever I took back the pieces that I deconstructed from the old show, it it could have used a little bit of different construction to make it even more professionally finished, right? And so I had some time to submit the work. I got it together, and it was a cohesive collection of teals, buffalo horn, and a little bit of gold thrown in. So
Oh,
it told a
wow.
story. I need to post all this to Instagram, and guess what I've not done? But I had Josh photograph it as I submitted it, and we put it on a mannequin, on a male bust. And the male bust's name is Earwig, by the way. Earwig. And so we got that together. 3 of the pieces were chosen, and that particular event happens on August 9th. And so I'm very, very excited. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Um, I'm excited for that because it's a different step in a different direction. I don't know where it's gonna go or if it's gonna continue or
Hmm.
whatever, but the fact that I got some stuff together and I can just take a moment to celebrate it and collect more data of like, oh, people really do want this. Maybe I just create more and keep submitting to different galas and or
Yeah,
galleries and see what happens. And
yeah,
so it's just entertaining a whole different side of my brain. But that's personal me, right? And then there's like the Silver Silk evolution as it happens, which is
right.
taking a hard look at the website and making sure
Hmm.
that it is functional.
Hmm.
There's some back end work that I need to do. Um, yeah, Don, I need to get it posted to Instagram. So check out the Silver Silk and more Instagram, and that is where the bar talk for my designs will happen as I have the bandwidth and time to post that stuff.
That'll
Uh,
be awesome.
yeah, but I'm putting more resources into the website. I'm putting more content into the website. People still do not know what to do with Silver Silk, and so I'm trying to figure out how to make that journey a lot
Hmm.
easier. So my website just got a recent revamp a week ago of
Wow.
bolstering that content that's on there and making stuff easier to find and shop for. And so I'm slowly still working on that as well as just staying in touch with everyone, which is a Silver Silk Sundays and
Yeah.
uh, doing the best that I can. I also have a
Yeah.
full-time job, which is not an excuse. It's just more of like there's so many parts to my brain that are
Yeah.
being used at it. There's a lot of
Yeah.
fires happening. There's a lot of irons in the fire right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting world and I get to use all parts of it and create magic. But again, I look to the Silkies for feedback. Danielle Wicks for holding my hand through things, and Joan, who's my social media and my everything else lady, to crack the whip when it needs to be cracked.
Yeah. No, we are all one person shows, a lot of us, or small businesses for sure. But you know, we all, I think, have it together pretty well on the front end, right? It's like we
Yeah.
all look like we've really got it together. We know what we're doing, but sometimes on the back end, we are definitely dancing as fast as we can, right?
Well, that's because the technology changes too. And so
Yes.
all of these platforms that we use to stream are constantly being updated because
Yeah.
they're trying to make it better for the user end experience and for you
Right.
guys there to watch. And so some of that is like constant relearning for all of for the people that use it.
Yeah.
And so that, that becomes a little tricky
Yeah.
at times and then just many other things to navigate. But yeah.
And wearing all these different hats of, you know,
Yes.
creative designer and, you know, because I was just talking with Janice and we were talking about it. And Sarah's like,
He's like, seriously.
seriously, we were talking about it yesterday in the TGBE meeting, we are constantly, we've got to constantly make sure the website is up and running and that the stock is correct. And,
Yeah.
so we run these businesses like we're so huge, but we're actually like this big. Yeah. So, but it's fun. And I know I speak for all of us when I say how grateful that we are for all of you. You keep showing up and showing up. Yeah, Sarah's ticking the boxes. It
Shopping, accounting, marketing, web design. But you
is
know what?
true.
This also small company wise, because I don't have anyone to speak to make changes, to get stuff rolling, to get campaigns put out, to
Hmm.
make product. Like all of that is to me, for where I'm standing in the corner of this industry, is that I rely heavily on my customers to give me direction. And
100%.
I think that I can knit the wire that I make, but ultimately I'm looking for their expert opinion of like, hey, can you try this or can you make this color? Can you put these type of beads? Can you find this and that? So I'm
Hmm.
really procuring, and they're giving me that feedback immediately to, pivot as I need to, or find inspiration or reinvigorate the brand somehow. And
Yeah.
I'm always thankful for that.
Well, it's great to have that kind of collab. And, with a large, that's the beauty, I think, of a small business. It's like you have the ear of or your customers have your ear, I guess is what I should say. And, the same thing, I think, with us, when people write in and they're asking, hey, can you get this or can you find this? That email goes directly over to Janice and Janice gets on it. If it fits within the bead shop world, we're like, yeah, why shouldn't we? It's like when we put the bead spinners in because we were using them for some different projects. It's like, oh, of course we need that. Well, we don't have to go through this whole big like buying presentation or like marketing thing, or I don't have to make a PowerPoint to be like, this is why we should carry this. We just decide.
Yeah, it feels right. It feels
Yeah.
right with what we're using and what we want to try and make, and it's just easy. We make it easy for ourselves, and that's because we are small companies that are in the weeds of everything.
Yes, definitely. But sometimes the weeds are like big flower fields, but sometimes they're weeds.
You know what? There are dandelions that I love to still pick and occasionally like blow out all the things and disperse the seeds out into the world. So,
That's
we
right.
can still have a beautiful moment in the weeds.
That's right. That's right. Well, Nealay, we've been chatting for an hour. Does anyone have any other questions they wanna throw out? If they have any, I don't know, whatever product questions or anything
Oh,
else,
I like your hair, by the way. She
type
made
them
it in
in.
the video.
Yeah, the bob is making its triumphant return. I don't
I
know.
love it. It's
My
beautiful.
the pandemic, I cut off all my hair right before the pandemic hit, and then and I've just kind of kept it. But the bob is my signature move. But now it's gray. But I'm embracing my gray. Who cares, right?
It kind of looks timeless, to be honest.
Right. I'm
It
trying
doesn't
to.
look gray. It looks more like a color that is just a color.
Well, I'm gonna work with it.
I love
I'm gonna
it.
be 59 this year, Nealay. So I'm gonna jump in
You
to
look
my
amazing.
final year. It's all my skincare. It's my skincare.
I love that. Do you wear the red light mask and everything? Are you
No,
into
but I was just talking to Candy Cooper about the red light mask. Do you use it?
I've been told to, but it's so expensive to acquire that I
I
haven't done
know.
it yet.
I shouldn't tell Candy's secrets. Candy's going to be like, "You said what?" I'm like, "No, we were just chatting about it." No, no, I can't tell her beauty secrets. But I'm all, "Oh, maybe. No, just really good."
I do have wrinkles here that I need to
Yeah,
like
you know
resolve.
what? Embrace those wrinkles. I do too. I'm just moisturizing. Moisture. Wash my face, wash my face, wash my face. That's
Yeah,
it.
I have to do that. I have
That's
really
it.
like by nature oily skin, and
Yeah.
so I probably won't wrinkle a whole lot over time, but I will
Yeah.
have like stuff will start to like
Yeah. Well, just a little bit, right? A little
I'm
a
like, I
little bit.
just need this to
As
happen.
Stephen James, as my friend Stephen James would say, Kate, just a little. I'd be all, no, Stephen. He's all, no, just a little. I'm all, no. Stephen, no. No more. No, no.
But I think the red light fixes that. I think it does pull the skin taut. I think it does that.
Yeah. This.
Just like
This.
maybe not to that extent, but it does help with something.
Right. This.
Or that like
My
shock one.
my mom is mentioning, so I'll tell you this. Um, so have you heard of Colonial Dames?
No, what is that?
So we have this cousin, our Armenian cousin. My mom has really great hair. Well, she has great hair, but she also has great skin. So I've got things to look forward to. So our cousin, she's my dad's first cousin, second cousin maybe, Chris. First cousin, I don't know, cousin. Anyway, so and she has amazing skin, and now she's in her 90s, right? And
Yeah.
her skin is so beautiful. And I would always ask her, I'd say, Chris, what's your skincare secret? So she says She used this old school product. It's called Colonial Dames. What it is, and if you look it up, it's kind of like, and my mom just put it up, it's like this vitamin E, old school, like you get it like where like all the old school products are on the bottom shelf in the drugstore. And what Chris would say is she says, I splash my face with water and then always up the vitamin E cream,
Oh my
always up
goodness.
with happy thoughts. And that's all she does. So what
With
I
happy
try,
thoughts.
yeah. So up and happy thoughts. So vitamin E, happy thoughts.
I can get
Um,
on board with that.
yeah. So, but Colonial Dames, and if you look it up, I mean, it's been used like by old Hollywood stars. It's really hilarious. It's such a throwback. So it's really funny.
That's amazing.
Um, let me see. There is some other.
And we went on
Um,
a skincare tangent.
I love it. I There was another question back here that I was gonna answer. Oh, Janice was asking about the projects. Will you show us your
Oh,
project?
yeah. So, I don't think I even have a replica of the kit because they're they're all sold out, but I can show you this little. I had a kit out that had this color.
Oh, yes. Is that all? Are those turquoise chunks? I'm going to highlight you.
Oh yeah, there we go. This is
Look,
turquoise chunks and the colors and stuff that were within that kit. It's gorgeous. I mean,
it is
I put a
gorgeous.
stupid amount of turquoise in there that I know for sure is like if you scored a kit, you definitely scored a good price on that. So
Yeah, because that turquoise, especially nowadays, and I'm not really sure where we're going to be with Tucson or anything, to source some of the stuff that we usually do. It's just gorgeous. And I love how you are never afraid of asymmetry. That really looks great too.
yeah, thank you. I just wanted
Very
to create
nice.
a little bit of happy chaos and
Yeah.
um, and for this
Yeah.
one I did a double one, but
Oh,
you
love
could
it.
do whatevs. There's like the kit is not really even a kit, it's more of a bundle of materials.
And is that Silver
So
Silk Navy?
this is a pearlesque chain, so
Oh,
it's got a
oh,
rainbow tinsel inside.
oh. Is the wire? What's the wire?
The wire is a dark blue, and then
Dark blue.
inside
Yeah.
of it is a light lavender purple
Oh, it's
rainbow.
gorgeous. I love that blue. So, so
It's
pretty.
very, very sparkly.
Yeah, I'm
So,
super into it.
and then I also have one more project that we're going to do together. It's a simpler little bracelet that uses some of the other materials in as well. I could probably put up my phone, but I think this is just easier.
No, I'm going to highlight you right there. I'm going to grab something while you're showing that. Nealay, I love that knot.
Yeah, that's just like a simple, like little clever little knot, you know?
Oh,
It's a
it's so good.
centerpiece, and then we
I'm going
got
to
this
grab
weird
something real
strand
quick.
that sort of like complements the look here. So two really fun projects I think that we can kind of toy around with and string up and do something with. There's lots of materials left over, and so we'll be able to probably craft a few more. In fact, I got a on here. I got some leftover turquoise that I could play with.
Oh, nice.
And
I
then I got
love those turquoise
some
chunks.
that are here. So plenty of stuff
Right.
to
Well, I have got some. Let me show you. Let me get this. I'm going to show you the bright thread. So on Friday at 12 a.m., the stroke of midnight, all of our stuff will launch. And I am utilizing, you can use other things too. We've got plenty of different Ceylon, but let me show you. I have super brights. I've got this crazy. I know.
I love
It's
the
crazy.
fluorescence. That is
Here,
wild. I bet.
there we go. It's hard to. It's so bright. It's kind of hard to see. And then I've got this one.
Ooh.
Um, this is the neon yellow. This is, I think it's the crazy poinsettia color that it comes in. Let me get a little, I know it could not get any brighter, I'm telling you. But we're going to use some really cool, we're going to do some knotting with it. And what I wanted to do is I'm going to do some gemstone knotting like
Oh, I
this
love that.
so that the neon is really neon forward.
Hmm.
And we're going to be using, we've sourced these kind of amazing gate clasps. And we're going to be doing some charms in the front. So you'll be able to create some different layers. I really, really love it when, they've been doing it for a while. Candy Cooper does it a lot too. The neck mess, right? Like
Yeah.
so many necklaces. And I think doing stuff like having stuff like this with the charms, some skinnier things, but all of it knotted, just a real bunch of really cool stuff. So we're going to have a smorgasbord of um, threads and round gemstone beads and these clasps. It's going to be super fun. So I'm going to walk you through kind of a mix and match. So I don't have a specific kit, but you'll be able to pull what you love. And if these brights aren't your jam, don't worry. We have a ton of different other colors, but I don't know. I don't know. I guess my 80s like days at the skate arena were just coming
Listen,
back.
you're not ready to put the glow stick down.
Right? I mean, look at it. I mean, it is like I could direct like airplanes with this spool of stuff. Be like, over here, down
Over,
here,
yeah.
in,
Bring it
over,
in.
bring it in, right here, in.
No, what's funny about that clasp, because first of all, that is gorgeous.
Oh, thanks.
That clasp that you sourced. Um, I work a corporate job, and so I was there today this morning through the afternoon. And it's funny that you mentioned that style of having it in front with like charms and stuff hanging off of it, because that is what I've noticed a few of the girls wearing that I work with, and I guess it's just this. It seems to be a trend style right now.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I dropped something here. Sorry. I had to. Hi, I'm back. I'm trying to see. So Janet and I made this a while back. We did this one, which was really fun. So you can do
Ooh,
something
yes.
kind of like this as well with the charms in front.
Ooh,
These
I
are just vintage ones from my collection. But when I was in France, let me just say again, when I was just in France, came home, I saw a lot of oh, look at that one,
know we
Nealay.
must have been on the same wavelength.
Oh, it's gorge. I love that eye pendant. That is cool.
That's like fun little charm.
Love, love, love. Look at how great that is. And then the back is the SilverSilk, right? That's
Yeah,
really,
this
oh,
one's
it's
in the
gorge.
screen.
I love it. Love,
But I
love.
love this one. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's really gorgeous. And people were wearing these like all over. Charm necklaces have not run the gamut yet. I think that they're still really yeah, look at how great. Look at how great we look.
I know. I made this too long, so I can't wear it on camera.
No, it's good. So I think it'll be fun. We'll just play around with some different like effects, I love a clasp in front. I've done clasps in front forever. So I love that the trend is finally catching up. And these are just really fun with the different caps
Can
that
you make your screen big? I want to see it.
yeah, let me
Sure.
do that. There we go. So see,
Oh,
it's kind of hard to see, but see, it's got those pearl caps on the side.
I
And
love,
then
love,
you
love,
can
love
see,
that.
yeah. And so we have a bunch of different kind of flavors and stuff. So it'll be kind of fun. It'll be kind of fun to play around with. So there'll be kind of a smorgasbord. And I think that you could definitely mix in some of your SilverSilk ideas with this, like really not something super bright, and
Mhm.
then add some, one or two strands of the SilverSilk. That would be
Well, it
super.
gets to be that fun neck mess that
Mhm.
you were just mentioning. Just like
Yeah.
a funny mix of different textures and coordinating
Yeah.
eclectic feel to it.
Yeah. I have a bunch of eclectic stuff back here that I just, it's just fun.
Collected over time.
Yeah, just kind of like, well, make and, put on and just kind of, I like to have all my jewelry, and this is so not
I don't
everything.
have an impressive collection yet, but I'm working on it.
Well, you can come over and take some of mine. I've got a lot. Well, Nealay, this has been an amazing hour.
It has been so, so fun. I treasure that we got to spend this much time together.
Same. We'll have to do it again.
I would love to. I'm there.
Yeah, same. Same. Well, my friends, you will see Nealay and I and the rest of the TGBE bunch on Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 5, 6, 7, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, I believe that would be.
That is correct. Yep.
And so that's going to be on Friday. The link is already up on the Great Bead Extravaganza YouTube channel. So you can mark that and get that in your, if you want to give that a follow. So you'll get that reminder for the TGBE. Some of the presenters also broadcast on the YouTube channel. Also on Sunday, my friends, we are going to do a Great Bead Extravaganza show and tell. So some of the presenters are going to come together at 4 p.m. Pacific, 4, 5, 6, 7 p.m. Eastern to just kind of show some of your favorite pieces or favorite craft you've been working on or whatever. So we'd love for you to join us then. It's also on the schedule. So if you go to the Great Bead Extravaganza page, they'll be there. And then tomorrow we've got our last bead trip around the world, right, Nealay?
Yep. Same time, same place. At least on the Great Bead Extravaganza Facebook page and YouTube channel. Oh, you guys are so nice.
Yeah,
is that your mom?
nice. That's my mom. Yeah. My mom's like, get Nealay over here so we can hang out.
I know. She's so sweet.
Yeah, we're going to have tomorrow is Heather and Cynthia. So Heather of Humble Beads and Cynthia of Green Girl Studios.
And then it brings it back to our preview party, right? Is that the last pair up?
Yeah, that's the last pair up, and then our preview party's on Friday. So
magic! What a magical week!
What a week, right? It's been so fun. It's been so fun. Yeah, we should put that in the books. Nealay, we could do a fun collab, I think. We've talked about it before, but we need to make it happen sometime before the end of 2025.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah, it'd be super fun. All right. Well, my friend, I'll see you Friday.
Yep. I will be there, and it's going to be a big week, you guys. Make sure you grab that calendar, put it on your desktop so you don't miss any of the presentations. And we will see you for our sessions.
We'll see you then. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye.